This is Shorty Lynn Chaos, and you're watching Ward of the Woods. Hello, and welcome back. Alright, today we are going to learn about the basics of Botania and how to play. I was talking to a family member this past weekend, and I found out that not only does he not know how to play vanilla Minecraft, but he watches our videos and doesn't even know what we're doing. So I figured I would explain little by little to see if he actually would like to play. Alright. Okay, so for the basics, we're going to learn how to make the Lexica Botania, the Floral Fertilizer. We're going to learn about the mystical flowers and the different types of stuff they can do. How the flower pouch is very useful, the petal apothecary, and the pure daisy, the stuff that the pure daisy makes, which is the living wood and the living rock. And then we're also going to learn about the natural shedding in Botania, which is so incredibly useful. Now, something I may need to mention ahead of time is that according to different mod packs, the recipe may be different for different items. I know in Mage Quest, it takes only a sapling and a book to make the Lexica Botania, but in another pack called Regrowth, it takes several other different things that I can't remember at the moment. Oh, I still have stuff in my inventory. Lovely. Alright, so let's go ahead and make that for us. Alright. So here's our book. And something else you may need to do is just read like the tutorial of the basics. It'll actually show you how it goes. And then the book is awesome. It literally teaches you every little thing you need to know about Botania. In which case, if I didn't already explain it, Botania is basically power with flowers. Alright, so now that we made our Lexica Botania, the next thing we need to do is make the Floral Fertilizer. Now, the Floral Fertilizer, if you're not out in the wild with a bunch of trees and stuff in an actual biome, this is, of course, this is my sandbox, so you don't actually see anything other than that random village over there. Then you use the Floral Fertilizer to make these mystical flowers appear, which you get 16 different colors. Alright, so let's go ahead and make that. It costs a bone meal and 4 floral fertilizer, floral white powder. Now, to make the floral powder, which I forgot to do, we need a pestle and mortar. Oops. Pestle and mortar. Alright, and then let's go ahead and go grab this mystical orange flower right here. Or not, because I'm in creative. Alright, now, you can collect as many of these flowers as you could possibly need, and then you take it and it just turns into 2 petals. Every flower turns into 2 petals. Alright, and then after you make your pestle and mortar, which takes a stick, it takes a stick up here, a block or planks of wood right here, and then I believe a bowl right here. And then you just put it right here and you automatically get 2 orange powder. And it doesn't even eat up your pestle and mortar like most recipes do with other items. Alright, so we need to make our floral fertilizer. And voila! We have our floral fertilizer. Okay. So let's go ahead and make us some flowers. See, just like that, a bunch of them appear. And as said, there are 16 different colors, so you actually have to go hunting out in the wild for all the different colors. So let's just make a couple more of these reappear. It's kind of fun to do just because they're so colorful and they have so many little flickering lights popping up. Alright, so we already talked about the mystical flower and how to find them. Alright, next thing we're going to do is make the flower pouch. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab us a Lexica so I can show you the recipe to that. Alright, the flower pouch takes 5 pieces of wool, which you have to go out and find the sheep, either shear them or kill them, and then 1 petal, doesn't matter what color. So let's go ahead and make us that. Alright, the flower pouch is very good to use. Mostly because, alright, ready? Normally when you gather stuff up in your inventory, it'll clog it up and then you can't pick up anything else, right? Well, with the flower pouch, which doesn't work because I'm in creative. Hold on a minute. Alright. And I'm gonna die, aren't I? Crap, it's because it's nighttime. Yeah, because mobs are spawning. Anyways, so, as you gather up the flowers, they'll actually appear in your flower pouch. See, there's that orange flower that we already got. Alright, give me one moment here. Let's go ahead and drop a bunch of flowers out. Can I show you, so I can show you folks what I mean. Again, these are the exact same flowers that are in front of us. I'm just currently dropping them. Alright, let's go grab them. Alright. Alright. Or if it doesn't pick them up for whatever reason, which I believe it's because I didn't break them personally, and those are tall flowers, so it won't pick those up. Alright, and as you can see, it collects them in the flower pouch. Now, something I should mention about the flower pouch, that is, if you break the flowers with the flower pouch in normal mode, survival mode, then instead of going into the pouch, it instead goes in your inventory and it clogs it up. Alright, so we already talked about the petals and what uses they have. So the next thing we need to talk about is the petal apothecary, which literally just starts everything. Alright, so I'm gonna drop these two items off here, and let's go ahead and make that. Alright. So, what we need is 4 cobblestone, and a petal. And just like that, we have it. Alright, I'm gonna put that right over here. Now, another fun fact I should mention is later you have the ability to create different colored stones through Botania. And if you surround your petal apothecary with the different stones, I believe it has to be the cobblestone form, then you can actually change the color of your apothecary, which is kind of useful for decoration and whatnot. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is fill it with water, because unfortunately you cannot make literally anything without the water. Alright, and then the next thing we need to make, oh, okay, I guess I forgot to do that. The next thing we need to make is the pure daisy, which gets everything also started. So that's pure daisy right there. So let's go ahead and grab us 4 white petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another thing I need to mention is that you always need seeds. It's just normal seeds. Although in regrowth, from what I remember, you don't actually have to have specifically just wheat seeds. You can use whatever seeds you can find. Again, the recipes can be different in different mod packs. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop these 4 petals in here that we got from white flowers. Remember, 1 flower equals 2 petals. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I love the splashing sound they make. And like that, you can see the 4 petals just swimming around, and then we drop our seed. Alright, and just like that, we have our pure daisy. Alright, so let's go ahead and set that up over here. Okay, so the next thing I need to show you folks is how to make living rock and living wood. So let us grab some stone, which you have to have stone. It does not work with cobblestone. And then we also need any wood logs. Alright. So let's go ahead and place the stone around it. It only works directly around the pure daisy. It will not work on top of it. It will not work past. If you notice, it shows exactly where it works. It will not work past it or below it. Alright, so just give it a few seconds. And when it's done, it should look exactly like this. Once it's done. Now, something else I need to mention about how long it may take to turn into living stone, or living rock, sorry, my bad, is sometimes depending on a server's tick, it may take longer for it. Usually you'll know by the sound it makes. It makes a little popping noise, which once it actually does that, I'll show you. But in some server cases, I've actually been on where it'll make popping noises like 5 to 10 times, and it still doesn't turn your stone. Oh, another thing that I should mention as well is the sparkles that you see means that it's actually working and that it's turning it into living stone. And if it could turn into living stone at any time, that would be great. Yeah, no. There we go. Well, it started to. There it goes. Or not. Okay. But like that, it makes popping noises. Alright, so let's go ahead and take another pure daisy and show you folks. Right there. The living wood. Alright. Alright, so while we're waiting for the spruce wood, oak wood. Why does it say oak wood? I have no idea. For the spruce wood to turn into living wood, let's just talk about the natural shedding. Now, this is one of my favorite things about Botania is the natural shedding. Alright, let us grab the Lexica Botania, and I will show you. Alright. Okay. So, different things in Botania, usually, the vanilla item, or the vanilla creatures, will drop things according to the ticks in the server and the ticks that it has set. So, a chicken will not only lay eggs, it will also drop feathers, which is really useful for if you need to make arrows or certain types of runes, which we'll get to in a later episode. Squids will drop ink sacs, which happens pretty often. So you'll probably be running around in a little pond or something, you'll come across like 10 ink sacs just lying around, and that's probably because the squid dropped them. Alright, villagers with emeralds. This is super useful. Because you can gather up a bunch of villagers, put hoppers underneath them, wait a couple hours, and then you'll probably have a bunch of emeralds that you can use to trade with them. It's really useful in single player, not so much in multiplayer. Spiders will drop string, which helps you get wool faster. Blazes will drop blaze powder. They will not drop blaze rods, though, unfortunately. And of course, you can't turn blaze powders into blaze rods. But that's needed for later recipes as well. A ghast will drop ghast tears. So if you can find a way to get a ghast over in the overworld, or if you can capture one in the nether and name it, then you're golden with ghast tears and you never have to fight a ghast again. Alright, skeletons will drop bones, so you have infinite bone meal, and slimes will drop slime balls, which again will become useful in later episodes. Alright, it looks like our living wood is done. So there we go. Alrighty. So if you folks have any questions about any of the explanations I've done, if you have any tips for anything I may have missed, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Like the video if you'd like to see more of How to Botania, and subscribe if you want to continue seeing these videos on how to do stuff, or Minecraft Let's Plays. We're playing Chex Quest right now, and y'all have a nice night.